Welcome again, my friends, to Crypto Earn, where knowledge is power and power brings wealth. Today we have a bunch of things which I think we're going to find very interesting. On the news front, we're going to look at again the Luna Foundation and what it's doing, how much it's buying, and then there are other big players like MicroStrategy also buying lots of Bitcoin and how this is so very bullish. On the technical analysis, we'll look briefly what Bitcoin has done in the last day. And then I'm going to show you a couple of indicators and the stock to flow graph if you haven't come across it. Very, very interesting. And again, showing us where we should be going with this. On the on-chain analysis, we are going to look at the net flows of Bitcoin into and out of the exchanges. Again, very meaningful, and you will see how we're in a very special stage of the cycle. On alts, I want to look at IOTA or MIOTA, depending how you look at it. It's a very interesting, very, I think, undervalued coin, which is very important, and I think we will see some interesting things about it. I hope you will come to understand the power or the importance of IOTA. On yields and pools and staking, I'm going to look at a very simple way to make your coins work, which is just in Binance. I'll show you how you can get some very simple yields there without much risk at all. On accounting, the DCA, dollar cost average, if you're not very experienced in buying crypto, especially Bitcoin, then the best way, and if you can't be bothered really following the markets on a day-to-day basis, the best way is to just cost average it just every week or every month. And I will go through it and I'll show you what I'm doing in that sense. And then in trading, we're not going to look at anything today. Features, I just want to look at LEDN. LEDN is a platform which offers many features, and we'll go into that. So with that said, let's start on our first part of the video, which is the news. On the news front, the Luna Foundation again buys another 5,000 BTC. That's to be added to the 30,000 they had, and that comes to 35,767 Bitcoins. These are to back, they want to back their USD, the stable coin, the dollar stable coin, and it's becoming one of the biggest investors or buyers of Bitcoin. So only second and third to MicroStrategy, which we have here as well. They've also gone out and spent another 200 million of Bitcoin, raising their total holdings to 129,218. So this is MicroStrategy, who I think everybody's heard of. He's one of the big people that's launched the whole institutional investment into Bitcoin. So we've got lots to thank him for. But second to MicroStrategy is Tesla, and now third is Luna. And here is the Luna wallet, which I think started buying back in, what was this, in January, 27th of January. Then he had a lapse, and then now he's been buying every few days. And now the last purchase was done on the 6th of April, and it's got up to $1.59 billion or 35,000. And the beauty of this is to see how it's actually purchases. So we can see here on a random day, like the 28th of March, bought 1,494 Bitcoin, then 991 and 345. So yeah, it makes our little purchases look very minuscule. But this is was actually helped make Bitcoin go up. Like the last one was 6th of April. It made a purchase for 3,164, then 586 and 490. So these are some beauts here. We should all buy that kind of Bitcoin. The next news is the biggest corporate holders of Bitcoin is not Square or Tesla, but like I said, it's actually MicroStrategy. Here's the list. It's actually outdated. MicroStrategy number 121,000. We saw now there's a bit more than Tesla, and then here would be the Luna Foundation. So that's on the news. If you want to go into detail, it's not difficult to just do a search, but just to keep you on tabs of what's happening. On the technical analysis, we have Bitcoin here, the same graph as yesterday's on a day candle basis. We saw yesterday was around here, and it was actually looking as if it might just settle down for a few days on this resistance of 47,595. but I'm afraid it succumbed below what we thought was a strong support here at 44,555, and it fell right down to 43,000. Now we're hoping that this becomes a new strong support, which is at 42,000. We hope it doesn't touch it, but it now will be remaining and staying in this new triangle here, which hopefully will make it go in break into the in the upward direction. On another note on technical analysis, this is a very simple indicator. It's called the pi indicator, and I think something related to the 3.14 that there it is, 3.15. It's actually a very simple indicator, but very effective. All that somebody's done is they've actually used the 111-day moving average and then crossed it with the 350-day moving average times 2. It doesn't mean the 700-day moving average, but the 350-day moving average is actually shifted it up by 2. And then you get this lovely graph here, these two graphs that just I think it's by pure chance, but quite beautifully, it has shown whenever they cross, it's actually within 3 days of the peak. So that was there. I wish that square wasn't there. Then the next time it crossed, well, oh, that's better. Next time it crossed was here, and that's again very near the peak there. And now we hope, and then yeah, even going further back, I should show you right back here. Here is this is 2013, and there it peaked, and 2013 April, there it peaked again. So it's just you could say a funny coincidence, but anyhow, it's nice to keep an eye on it. So now we're obviously very far from the next peak, and we're hoping that that we're still on an upward trend, and when these two lines meet somewhere in the future here, hopefully that will be the new peak. So that's the pi cycle top indicator. As I say, I don't think it has any magic to it. It just happened. Somebody has happened to have hit on two lines whenever they cross, of actually giving us the ATH. But it could fail any time as well. We're aware of that. And the stock to flow is very interesting. This was actually proposed by Plan B. He's very active in Twitter. Some Dutch guy, and he studied finance and many of the assets that have limited supply. And Bitcoin is, the perfect asset with limited supply, because we know it's only going to be 21,000. And then he's plotted, obviously, the price of Bitcoin, where the color, I think, relates here to the days until the next halving. So at dark blue is just after the halving, and then it starts with dark red, blue, whatever. It's not red, yellow, green. Yeah, I'm a little bit colorblind here. Then it goes to blue again. So basically what he's shown is how well this graph of his actually matches what is happening to Bitcoin. And if you can see, we've been below now for a while, below the line here, but it's actually nudging its way up. And if it nudges its way up towards the end of this year, we should be at 70,000, which is really what many people expect. But then after the halving, which is going to happen in May 2024, which is why everybody's so excited about May 2024, hopefully, if he's right, he's going to go from 85,000, which is where it should be by the end of the year, up to, look at this, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. So, okay, this is very optimistic, 700,000 per Bitcoin. But yeah, even if it makes it halfway up, then this is what we're all looking forward to, maybe 100,000, $300,000 Bitcoin. So this is the stock to flow model, another very interesting graph to keep an eye on. On our next chapter, we're going to look at alts, and this today I want to concentrate on IOTA. Very interesting cryptocurrency. Is quite old, and it doesn't make a lot of noise. Doesn't have like a marketing team or a promotion team. They just quietly get on with their work. Right from the beginning, they got a lot of funding, so they really have never been out of cash. They just plod along, and they have adapted. So what is IOTA? IOTA, the important thing is a distributed ledger designed to record and execute transactions between machines. So IoT, Internet of Things, although some people say it's just the Greek word IOTA. But anyhow, Internet of Things, that was the idea of it. But the most important thing is that the ledger uses a cryptocurrency called MIOTA, that's mega IOTAs, that's 1 million IOTAs, to account for transactions in its network. IOTA is a key innovation, is a Tangle, a system of nodes using for confirming transactions. So it's not a blockchain, and it doesn't have a power proof of work or proof of stake. it just uses what's called a Tangle. IOTA claims that Tangle is faster and more efficient than a typical blockchain used in cryptocurrency. It's also cheap. The IOTA Foundation is a non-profit foundation responsible for the ledger, has inked agreements with prominent companies such as Bosch and Volkswagen to extend the platform utility among other connected devices. So you can read more about this. It's very interesting. I don't really want to go into a lot of detail. I just want to give you like a broad view of some of the coins I think are interesting to know. I actually have this news here. So it says it's got agreements with Bosch and Volkswagen. More importantly, I have this news here. IOTA selected for phase 2 of EU blockchain initiatives. So the European Union is actually working with IOTA for some of this work. On Thursday, this was the news from January 2022. On Thursday, IOTA Foundation, which oversees developments in the namesake Internet of Things, transaction blockchain IOTA, announced that it had been selected as one of the 5 contractors by the European Commission to develop blockchain and distributed ledger technology in the region. According to the announcement, Phase 2A aims to advance European blockchain services infrastructure, or EBSI, in 5 areas. So IOTA has actually undergone great changes from its initial stage. Initially, it was just one network or one Tangle. But as they've developed from 2017, they've actually realized they have to do so much more. So now they've come up, this is another long, IOTA.org blog. I'm not going to go through all of it, but it explains how IOTA is now going to have 2 more networks, Shimmer and Assembly, and how they're interlinked and what the roadmap basically, yeah. IOTA, Shimmer, and Assembly staking roadmap, the path forward to a community incentivization token distribution. So too long did not read would say the last year we announced the first staking opportunity since IOTA's inception in 2015. The 90-day staking period gave the IOTA community opportunity to participate in the fair token distribution of Shimmer and Assembly networks. As planned, further staking phases will also be possible in the future for the 3 networks IOTA, Shimmer, and Assembly. I don't know if you have IOTA, but I certainly have, and I've staked my IOTAs, and this is what the Firefly wallet looks like. Yeah, I have my new Assembly tokens and I have my new Shimmer tokens. So it's as simple as buying IOTA, putting in your Firefly, and then staking. Right now, there's no staking, but it might be worth thinking about it. So this is the last 90 days, but then you can read the roadmap here, and it says that it will be staking more assemblies. And here it goes. In conclusion, IOTA staking IMC will be possible for 21 more months. And then the Shimmer also will be stakeable. But as we go through these, which is the last paragraph, we say through staking, all IOTA, Shimmer, and Assembly token holders will get the chance to actively participate in networks. We can't wait to welcome you on this road and look forward to the next chapter of staking IOTA, Shimmer, and Assembly. So it's just an idea. IOTA, I think, is undervalued. If you look at the graph of IOTA, is I believe undervalued. This is the 1-day graph. It's now lying around $0.74. As you can see, if you go back into the past, it actually peaked at around $2.6. So an idea to get some IOTA sometime, then get into your Firefly wallet and stake it. That's what I have done, and it's just my personal choice here. Moving from IOTA, let's go to staking, pooling, or yield. A very simple way to obtain some yield or some returns from your coins is just basically to go to have some coins in Binance. If we go to Binance, we go to earn staking, then here they offer for some coins they will offer like some yield like 18.99. This is Luna. I also have Luna. I think it's the one we just talked about. They've just bought, another 5,000 Bitcoin. So they're not going to disappear anytime soon. Now, if we check, they're not all available. For example, the 21 days, the maximum you're allowed to stake is 1 Luna, which is pretty worthless. But here is an interesting one. This is for 30 days. You can lock it for 30 days, and you're allowed to stake up to 3,000 Luna. So, if you go 5, 10, or 20 Lunas there, you can stake it here. You get 91% for this amount, and you have to lock it there for that time. This is one example. There are many others. A stable coin, UST. If I were to stake just UST okay, for 90 days, I get, okay, you're only allowed to stake $200. So you're allowed to stake $200 at 19.63, 90 days. That's per annum, of course, that's 19.63 per annum, but still, you've got some money sitting around, you've got nothing to do, $200, you can put it there. 60 days is not available, 30 days is not available. So you can just come here and check what's available, and they will, you can actually stay like DOT, another very important coin, 24.37. So let's see what's available here. So if I come to 21 days, you're allowed up to 5 DOT. I think each DOT is about $20, so it's $100. That's not much use if you've got more. Here is 5,000. You're allowed to stake up to 5,000 DOTs for 30 days at 12.18. There you go. That's an excellent opportunity if you have coins just lying around. I mean, as I say, this is just up to each one to do, but this is in the section of yield, staking, and pools. I can show you this possibility. This is within Binance itself. Now, if you have don't have a Binance account, I will actually put a link down at the bottom in the description. And if you join through that link, then we both get some goodies. You get lower fees, and you also help the channel. So please use that one if you want to open a new account. On the portfolio and investment section, I'm going to show here a very simple concept of investment. Yeah, if you're not really into following the market and you just want to have some Bitcoin, but you don't know where to just buy now or tomorrow or yesterday, then this is what most analysts and most investors would recommend. And that's DCA. DCA is dollar cost average, which basically means you blindly, I mean, I've got it here, every Sunday since 2nd of January, I have bought $25 every Sunday. And that's the way to do sort of blind investment. Yeah, these have been the amounts that I've got at the time. This is 0.00053, or I mean, if we do it in millibits, that would be 0.53 millibitcoins, 0.59. The price at the time was $47,000, 42, 43. You can see it's actually varied a lot. So if you buy all there, you say, oh, I've got $10,000 I want to invest, because a friend told me, and you put it all there, then you find yourself that you actually went through all this stage where you're actually losing money. Okay, we're back up to 45 or 43, I think, right now. So you would have lost from 47. So if you actually just buy every week or every month, then you're more likely to never be wrong. Yeah. So the total I've invested is 350, so 25 each week, 350. The value of that in millibitcoins, which would be like 0.008. And the value of that now is $395. Yeah, so from 350 to 395. So I've actually already gained, just by buying it this way, I've actually gained 13% of my initial investment. Yeah. And then these are the two graphs. If you buy, this is a price which was just varying up and down, up and down. I mean, it does not very, you cannot see a lot here until we get to more months, we will see. And the red is actually my average price. Yeah. So as Bitcoin goes up now, obviously I will actually be gaining more. Now, this is the dollar cost average sort of blindly done. Now, you can also use a little bit of mouse here and actually, for example, buy when things do look slightly better. So you could be, let's say this is from the beginning. I started in January. Yes, I started on the first 6th. I started here. So every week I was just buying $25, $25. But if you want to get a little bit involved, then you say, okay, on the way down, I'm going to buy, okay, this week I'm supposed to buy 25, but it's going down. So I want to buy, 40 here and 40 here and 40 here. That means I've actually bought 15, 15 and 15 more than I was supposed to. Then when it goes up, I say, okay, now I just buy 10, 10 and 10. Then as it goes down, I buy 40. You see what I mean? You can actually feel the market. If it's going down, you buy slightly more. If it goes up, you buy slightly less. Like right now, you probably don't want to be buying your full amount. And now next week, if it's down here, you will buy slightly more. So this is just the same DCA, but with slightly, some human attention to it. And you will get a better result that way. And the last section in the video, which is actually features today, I'm going to feature LEDN. LEDN is a platform, is a very serious platform from Canada. They have all the auditing, so it's not just a one-man startup. I also use it myself. I have no reason to distrust them. And again, if you want to use this platform, if you like what you hear, then you can use the link below and help the channel. Yeah, just by you get some goodies and we get some goodies here as well. So what does it do? You can borrow money, putting your Bitcoin as collateral. So here it is, Bitcoin-backed loan. So you can actually, using your Bitcoin as collateral, you can actually borrow actual money. So for example, if I were to deposit, 0.125, an eighth of a Bitcoin, then you can borrow 2,683. Yeah. If you were to put a whole Bitcoin, which we know is worth about 43,000 now, then you could borrow 21,000. So they give you like half the value of 50% loan to value ratio. You pay 7.9 annual interest on a 12-month term. So the beauty of this is that you don't actually have to go to a bank. You don't have to show your salary. You don't have to go and do any vetting. You simply put your Bitcoin there and they will lend you the money. Now, more interesting for me is the B2X product they have here, which is B2X loans. Basically, you put your Bitcoin here and they will give you the same amount again. So if you put half a Bitcoin, you will have one Bitcoin sitting there in your name. Obviously, you will be paying an interest on the difference. Now, remember, this is all leveraging. Yeah. So again, this is not financial advice, but you've got to be aware that you're actually leveraging your money. Yeah. You're doing it times two. So if you have one and you've got two there, it means that they've lent you half of it. So if the Bitcoin were to go down by a half or by whatever the value is, they will have to sell your Bitcoin to pay their loan. So this is a risky product, but if you know what you're doing and you know when to come out or when to go in, then it's a good way of actually doubling your Bitcoin. So let's imagine that we got, again, an eighth of Bitcoin, 0.125. So they will put there for you another 0.125. So you will have sitting there 0.25 Bitcoins in your name. You will have borrowed the equivalent to $5,471 at 7.9 interest plus 2.92% fee. So you will actually owe them 5,580. Now, what's the idea here? The idea is that if, as we all believe, Bitcoin is going to go up, so if Bitcoin doubles in the next, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, or whatever, then that 5.58 will be so much easier to pay than paying it right now. So that's all. You just save the money. If now is a good time to buy Bitcoin, but you don't have the money to buy it, you can actually buy your Bitcoin here, 0.125, at today's price, and then you owe less than 5,580, which you can pay in the course of the next few months. So this is how it works. Again, if you want to open an account, please use the link below and be aware of the risks that we take when we use these products. And the final chapter is the community. I very much hope that the channel will grow and that you find the information useful. If you do, please, give it a like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you can be notified. Also, I want to start just letting you know that I do intend to do some prizes, and the first threshold will be 1,000. When we get to the 1,000 subscribers, I will give away 1 Luna or 1 Sol. I'm just covering my back here. They're both approximately $100, $120. So I'm happy to give away 1 Sol from Solana or 1 Luna from Terra to one of you, dear viewers, when we get to 1,000 subscribers. So thanks for listening. Hope you found it useful. If you did, then as I said, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and we'll speak to you right soon. Ciao.